Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kim and thanks for joining me here today. Tonight's video is going to be all about the budget, how I'm going to be able to afford to buy a new car by the end of this year and also to move, which is going to cost us about $5,000 in moving expenses. And so I'll go over that entire 2025 budget and the sinking funds that I've created, as well as the December meal plan and the December grocery list. So I hope you're all well. Until next time, take care. Okay, it is December 2024 and it's time to look at the budget for 2025. Now I have looked at that, created one and been looking at it for basically the entire year. I do that when I know prices are going to go up or when premiums renew midsummer, then I know what the prices are going to be for us half of the following year at least. Price of electricity, if you follow like the meeting notes of your local provider, they'll sometimes say there's going to be a rate increase and so on and so forth. So I look at it several times. I've created one in a spreadsheet, and again here we are with a piece of paper just to kind of show you how I set it, what we're looking at, and videos that are going to be made in the year 2025 that are going to be uploaded to my channel are going to focus a little bit more on budgeting. Then they're going to focus on shopping hauls and stuff like that. There's still going to be shopping hauls. There's still going to be budgets connected to shopping hauls. There's still going to be cooking videos. There's still going to be, what I'm doing or what I'm up to. And there'll probably be, I don't know how interesting, packing up boxes and clearing out rooms or organizing rooms ready for a move is. But I'll be definitely doing that probably late summer. There'll also be, obviously, I'll start my garden. It'll be a, smaller one like it was this last year, so I don't know how interested anyone is, going shopping with me and buying starter plants and planting things and stuff like that. But there'll be a couple of videos on that. But mainly we'll focus on what money we have at the first of the month. What money have I spent? So how have I spent the money that I have, every dollar, every dime? Where, what did this bill cost, or how high did this bill go up? What are we paying for electric prices? What are we paying per pound for ground beef? All of it's going to be basically numbers along with the other type of videos that I just mentioned. And so we're just going to focus on that because I think that's very important right now in our life. And I think just listening to people, not only in my real life but on the internet, I think it's really important on the internet just to learn some different ways to budget, just some different plans or resources that a person can have on how to spend their money or how to save money or how to be able to afford or plan or list it as a goal to buy a new car or a used car or a new set of furniture and stuff like that. We had credit cards years ago and it was a nightmare. I grew up in a family that just absolutely was against them, so I was absolutely against them, and now, years later, I am, except for, what you absolutely need them for. But more, my husband and I are on a, cash basis, so everything that we buy or everything that we need or everything that we need to save for, it's got to come out of cash. So the budgets will, show that this is how much cash I have in my hand. I will stuff some envelopes. I did that for years, and I think that's important as far as to have to have it right there in front of your face instead of in a bank or in a checkbook register or in an account someplace where you're not able to see it. And probably in those envelopes, we'll try to save money for like extracurricular activities or subscriptions or stuff like that. And my husband and I will sit down, decide what some of those things are, and then designate money in those envelopes so that when we want to do something like that, we pull the money out of the envelopes. I like doing it that way. It just gives you a real up close and personal look at this is how much money I have to spend, and when it's gone, it's gone. And often, especially with credit cards and that, it's really never gone until you max the card out. And if it's sitting in the bank, though we've never done it, it wouldn't probably be hard to, start transferring money from savings to checking to cover, expenses that you probably couldn't afford. But hey, I had money in savings, so I can transfer. I've run the gamut in, well over 40 years of being out my own, every little thing. So, yeah, this is our budget. It's on paper. It is on a spreadsheet. We're going to start with net of $3,000 income from my husband's job and net $400 a month in income from other sources, which is basically YouTube. If YouTube dries up or YouTube stops paying money and stuff like that, I'll just go heavier on the eBay and the Poshmark. And if I don't have funds from there, then I will route some of my income to make up for this, whatever the underage is in this budget of $3,400 a month. So our expenses, we estimate that the rent is going to be $1,400 just based on what they're renting other units out in this building. Electric is basically $125 a month. Sometimes it's $100, sometimes it's $130, $132. So we're just going to go with $125. Car insurance is a flat $70 every month. Renter's insurance is $18 every month. And that doesn't, that renter's insurance is just covering basically our possessions. So whatever you list your possessions worth at, that's how much they'll gear your, whatever. And this is basically just a payout check. It isn't taking each one of the items that I listed as our inventory or what we own. They're not going to pay the value of those items. They're just going to make a flat check if they all burn up or blow away. So $18 a month is a pretty good rate. I've had the renter's insurance for 20 years with Travelers, and I've had the car insurance for this car 17 years, but I've been with Geico for 31 years. Groceries, $400 a month. Our cat with his wet food is $80 a month. Our car fuel, about 2 tanks of $60 a month. Roughly 10%, a little bit more for the savings account every month. And then we establish some sinking funds. So sinking funds are interesting. I use these at work, and I have used these in previous years when we had, when we had our home, we would have a project of landscaping, or we'd have a project of painting something, or have a project of buying a lawnmower. And we would establish a sinking fund. And what that is you establish what it is that you want. In our case, we want a new car. We want to have $7,500 when we walk into the dealership. As far as for a down payment, we know exactly the car we want. We know exactly how much it's going to cost. We don't quite know how much it's going to cost to insure, but if we put a $7,500 down payment, we know roughly how much the payment is going to be a month. So we've already done 2 years of the sinking fund, so we have 1 year left. So what it is you have 12 months, and I need $2,500. Well, that makes it $208 a month that I have to put in the sinking fund for the new car. And then we move on to old car maintenance. Well, normally I don't think that would be in a sinking fund, but in our life we have a lot of old car maintenance. It's something that's there every year, as well as our cat maintenance with, he has examinations and different things taken care of 4 to 5 times a year. So these are kind of things that you do want to have a fund established, and we have this fund established in our bank, and we just route the money in 4 different ways. Just label new car, label old car, label Gabe, and label moving expense, and it's all kept in the bank. So with our anticipated maintenance and or anticipated repairs or emergency, you can't get this completely 100% accurate, but if we go by years gone by, it's roughly between $800 and $1,200 a year. Very, very expensive, and a big major regret. So oil changes are about $60, and we do it every 3,500 miles. Anticipated repairs, well, we've repaired just about everything, but there's always a chance that the brakes will go. There's always a chance something needs to be flushed. You just don't know with older cars. We just did a tune-up, so we can scratch that off, and we have a whole new undercarriage and a whole new exhaust system, so we can probably scratch that off. But, you have to put air filters and oil filters and stuff like that, and then we want a little bit of a cushion for emergencies. So I figured $1,100, and so if I need $1,100, how much do I need to put in this sinking fund a month. This is supposed to be a 9, so I'm supposed to put $91.66 in a month. Now, obviously, the emergency and maintenance, and that is not all going to take place at the end of the year when you have this $1,100. But as you save, first month $91.66. If you need an oil change, there it'll be. By month 3, you'll have way more than you need for an oil change. Anticipated emergency, we would just go into our emergency savings for that. Anticipated repair, we would do the same thing. But should we get lucky and everything end at the end of the year after we've paid for oil changes and it comes to, $900, whatever, that money will be in that sinking fund. For Gabe and stuff like that, usually each appointment is about between $55 and $100 an appointment, and his first appointment starts in March. So we should be good in that. And then they go every 2 to 3 months till the end of the year. So we need about $800 if we're looking to do those appointments and also have a cushion for an emergency. And we've had plenty of emergencies. We've had crystal emergencies, bowel emergencies, teeth emergencies, all kinds of stuff. So we want a cushion for that as well. So I said $800 for that sinking fund comes to $67 a month. And moving expenses, we figure that's going to cost $5,000 to get a truck. We've already done the first $2,500, so we need to do the second $2,500. We'll renew this lease, and then we'll go until the first part of next year, and then that'll be it. I'm praying and praying and praying that the cost of rent will go down, but if it doesn't go down in this area, and that we basically got to cash out our funds and move on. I mean, we just have to find another place to live that, yes, it may or may not be as expensive as here, but it'll just be time, and we won't be able to cash out a couple of our funds until we actually, as far as my husband goes, till he actually would seek another job in another community. So that'll be pretty serious idea and a pretty serious decision, but if that's the way that it goes, that we have to find, and there are plenty of places in the United States of America that have a more affordable cost of living, then that's just exactly what we're going to have to do. So to save $2,500 this year, I have to put $208 in that sinking fund. And as I said, that is established when you have a bank account. In the bank account, you have savings account. We have it in a credit union. So you have the ability to label each amount of money that you push from your checking, from your checking into your savings. And so that's just what we do. I label new car, old car, Gabe, and moving. And that is our 2025 budget. We'll live on $40,800, which in Wisconsin is considered lower income, and we will do just fine. These are our real expenses, except we're still not quite sure about that rent number, whether it'll be a tiny bit lower or a tiny bit higher. But everything else is right on, and every month I will do a video that shows the $400 grocery budget. It'll show a menu, meal plan, or whatever, and it'll show a grocery list, and then I'll have a grocery shop, and then I'll have a grocery haul video, and then obviously I'll throw in some cooking and stuff like that. So then we have the menu for December. This menu does not include any type of holiday meals. I just laid out a basic menu. Those I will figure in the end when I add up how much this is going to cost. So my menu for Sundays is going to be, as it always is, roast chicken, spuds, and then we'll take a vegetable from the freezer that I processed this past summer and fall. Mondays will be salad with that leftover chicken. I will grill it and have cheese shreds, homemade croutons, avocado, tomato, and beets in the salad. On Tuesdays, we'll have either pancakes and sausage or French toast and sausage. I can make up egg and cheese and bacon biscuits and a side of hash browns. On Wednesday, we'll have spaghetti and meatballs with the meatballs that I make. Those are always made ahead of time, at least 2 weeks to 3 weeks ahead of time, and then we have spaghetti meatballs every week with broccoli and garlic toast. And on Thursday, a new meal is a crock pot meal. It'll either be roast or pork chops or pork loin with carrots, potatoes, onions, peppers, and then we'll have some homemade bread or some rolls with that. On Friday is homemade pizza. Friday is always pizza here, so either it's homemade or we order a pizza, which is rare, and it will certainly be more rare in 2025. But I like pepperoni. My husband and I like pepperoni, peppers, cheese, and of course the sauce that I'll have to put on, and that comes from homemade. I've made some homemade sauce. Saturday we'll have chicken wraps with the last portion of the leftover from the roast chicken. So we'll have chicken wraps, and we'll have soup, or we'll have hamburger and home fries. They'll be left, if there's leftovers, we'll eat some of those or eat all of those up. I can make homemade soup. I always have a chicken carcass in the freezer, so sometime in midweek I can start on that, so we can have homemade soup on Saturday with a small salad, or I'll take out some chicken and we'll have chicken strips with either home fries or sweet potato fries. I'm going to turn it over and we do the grocery list. Well, we have an inventory of what we're going to need. So we're going to need 4 chickens, pork chops or a loin. We're going to need meatballs, pepperoni, sausage, rice, potatoes, homemade bread, rolls, garlic toast, biscuits, vegetables from the freezer, broccoli, lettuce, tomato, avocado, beets, potatoes, and sweet potatoes, and cheese shreds. So what do I need to buy after looking in the cupboards in the freezer? I need to buy 2 chickens at $6.99 a piece, 3 pounds of ground beef at $4.39 a pound. A pack of pepperoni is $3.67. A pack of sausage is $3.98. The biscuits that we buy are $1.98. Broccoli is $2.06. Lettuce is $4.48 a pack. The avocado is $1, and the sweet potatoes are $4.12 for the amount that I buy, which is usually 2 good-sized ones or 3 medium. So that is the grocery list. So that's what I've got for you at this point in time. I want to just send a thank you, a big thank you to a couple of friends of mine that follow the channel. I got this beautiful card, happiness, togetherness, thankfulness. And so, beautiful card about Thanksgiving or friendship. I want to say I think there were stickers in this too, but I haven't laid those out. I wanted to make sure I thanked who gave me this beautiful card, so I thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of that. And I got this sweet little card with some spices, so I was thrilled about that as well. I do use spices for foods that I cook for my husband, and then some of my favorite spices are pumpkin spices, nutmeg. There's a few others. I like poultry seasoning and sage and rosemary and thyme and stuff like that. I do use those spices, whether it be dried herbs or the actual spice. And so I received some spices from a friend who sent this card with them, and I appreciate the gift of spices very much. And when I cook some food and I've used the spices that you sent, I'll make sure to tell you so that you can see the dish that I added the spices to. So I'm very grateful and appreciative and thankful for these beautiful cards and gifts. So feature some clips of some things that I'm baking for Christmas, but one of my next videos is going to be baking some Christmas shortbread cookies. So I will have that video up in a couple of days, but I just wanted to get this budget video out as we're all thinking about money, and it's the end of the year, and we're wondering, maybe how we're going to do it, or what we're going to do, or what it's going to look like. Well, this is what mine looks like, and so, and then I've told you what some of the videos are going to be next year, so I hope everyone's well, and I'll see you again here in a couple of days.